What is the most hated thing on guitar?
Barre chords?
Barre chords? Barre chords.
Barre chords are one of the most frustrating things for new guitar players. If you have been working on them and everything still sounds muted, buzzy, or just plain bad, you are not alone. When I first tried barre chords, I honestly thought I might never get them clean. My hand hurt, my index finger felt weak, and no matter how hard I pressed, nothing sounded good. But here's the truth, barre chords are hard, but they're totally learnable.
You can do it!
In this video, I'll walk you through a step-by-step approach that helped me clean them up, build strength, and finally make them feel comfortable. Whether you're stuck on F major chord or just trying to survive your first full bar shape, this is for you. Let's get into it. What is a barre chord? A barre chord is when you use one finger, usually your index, to press down multiple strings across a fret. The most common ones are rooted on the 6th and 5th string and are based on familiar open chord shapes. They're super useful because they're movable, and once you get them down, they open up the entire neck of the guitar. At first, you will probably think you need to press as hard as humanly possible, but you don't.
False.
Years of playing have taught me that less pressure is needed than you think. First things first, we gotta train that index finger. Step 1, string the bar. Before we dive into full chord shapes, we need to get your index finger used to the pressure. Here's what you need to do. Grab your acoustic and start at a higher fret, anything from the 9th to the 12th fret. I'm gonna pick the 9th fret. In any of those frets, you're gonna have less tension. Lay your finger flat across all 6 strings. You can also use your middle finger to help you push down. Pick each string individually. Are they ringing clearly? Let's check. If they aren't, slide up a fret until they do. Tip: if you're practicing this on an acoustic guitar and still can find a fret where all the notes sound clean, grab an electric guitar or borrow one if you don't have one and start the same process there. Because of the neck and the strings, you will find that you can hear the bar clearer faster if you're using an electric guitar. Once you find a fret where the bar sounds clean, practice holding it down for a few seconds and then releasing, then slowly work your way down the neck until you can get all 6 strings to sound clearly at fret 1. Remember, fret 1 is the most challenging fret because we have more tension on the strings since we are closer to the net. Once your index finger is strong enough, it's time to add the rest of the notes to form full chords. The barre chord shapes that we're going to learn today are based on open chord shapes that you probably already know, like E major, E minor, A major, and then A minor. The main difference between the open voicings of these chords and the barre chord versions is that barre chords are movable since they don't use any open strings, so you can play them anywhere on the neck. Fun fact, if you take an open chord voicing, like for example E major, and you bar where the net is, you suddenly have a barre chord shape. Step 2, 6-string major barre chords, E shape. Chances are you have already seen these and hate them. Hopefully after this video you will not hate them anymore. These are based on the open E major shape that you know, with your index finger acting like a movable capo. First thing you need to do is bar the fret with your index finger. Let's create a G major barre chord. So we're gonna fret the 3rd fret. After you have that, add your other fingers to complete the shape of the E major chord. And now hear your chord. Now, common issues. Muted notes, your fingers might be too flat, accidentally muting other strings. Arch them more. Dead high strings like the B and E, the bottom part of your index finger is weaker. Try angling your index finger slightly to use a stronger edge. Hands hurt or feel tense, experiment with slightly pulling the body of the guitar back to use your guitar as leverage and to help you apply pressure without straining your hand. Also, don't kill your thumb. Remember, your thumb is here for support, not to create tension by pressing towards the neck. It's all about finding that sweet spot. The more you play, you will find the perfect angle, hand position, and pressure needed. Step 3, minor barre chord on the 6th string. Some good news here, the minor shape is easier. This one is based on the E minor open chord shape that you know. All you do is remove your middle finger from the E major shape. Now let's go back to the G major barre chord that we played earlier. If we want to make that minor, the only thing we need to do is remove our middle finger. Step 4, 5th string barre chords using the A shape. Slightly easier than the 6-string shapes because you're only pressing down 5 strings.
Thank God for that.
The minor bar chord shape is based on the A minor open chord voicing that you know, and it mirrors a 6-string major bar chord shape just with the root on the 5th string. Now let's do it again on the 3rd fret. First, we're gonna bar with our index finger, but this time from the 5th string down. And with our other fingers, we're gonna create the A minor shape chord, and this will give us C minor bar chord. The major shape is based on the A major shape open voicing that you know and has 2 main fingerings. The first one uses multiple fingers to press each note, and the second one uses your ring finger to bar the remaining notes. A bar within a bar. Choose whichever feels better for your hand. Now let's do this chord on the 3rd fret like we did the others. We're gonna start by barring with our index finger, but from the 5th string down. And we're gonna use our middle finger, ring finger, and pinky to fret the other notes, forming the A major shape. Now, for the second fingering, instead of using middle, ring finger, and pinky to fret the notes, we're gonna be using our ring finger. So this one might feel a little bit uncomfortable at the beginning because your ring finger needs to be flat. And if you have never barred with your ring finger, it might feel a little weird. So start again with putting your index on the 3rd fret, barring down, and then your ring finger needs to be flat, starting on the 4th string down. Why bar chords matter? Here's the magic of bar chords. Once you learn the shapes, you can play any major or minor chord anywhere on the neck. It's like unlocking a musical map. For example, you want an F major chord with the root on the 6th string? No problem. First, find the root of the chord on that string, in this case the F, and then play your E major bar chord shape that you learned earlier. That will give you F major chord. Now, for example, do you want an F major chord with the root on the 5th string? Do the same process. First, find the F on that string, and then play your A major bar chord shape that you learned earlier. You can use any of the fingerings. Or now let's talk about capos, the lazy person's bar chord.
You take that back.
Just kidding, I use them too. A capo is basically a mechanical bar chord that does all the barring for you and lets you use easy open chord shapes to play in different keys. Now, capos are great, but don't rely on them. Why? Because trust me, one day you're gonna forget it at home, and then if you don't know your bar chords, you're basically gonna be fucked. So use a capo as a tool, not as a crutch. If you're still struggling, let's talk about gear. If you're going through everything that we talked about earlier in this video and your bar chords are still sounding awful, don't panic. Your guitar might be the problem. Here's what to look for. If your guitar has high action and the strings are far from the fretboard, the bar chords will become way harder to play. If you have thick strings, that will require more pressure and it gets harder to press down for too long without feeling any sort of hand discomfort. And if you have a bad setup overall, even pros will sound bad on a poorly set up guitar. If possible, try learning bar chords on a well set up electric guitar. This will help you build confidence and technique before switching back to your acoustic guitar. Work smarter, not harder. Bar chords are not supposed to feel easy at first. They're awkward, they're exhausting, they feel impossible, but stick with them and they will unlock a whole new level of guitar playing for you. You got this. Let me know in the comments if you're struggling with a specific chord or shape. I would love to help. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you want more guitar lessons. See you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.